Have you ever felt like someone was silently watching your every move, just waiting for you to make a mistake? What if I told you that someone is probably a Virgo? And here's the kicker: what they're thinking about you might not be pretty. Can you handle hearing the cold, sharp truth if it comes straight from the eyes of a perfectionist? Virgos are often seen as the calm, collected type. Always neat, always thoughtful, always that one person who brings order to chaos. But here's the thing: what most people don't realize is that Virgos have a mental notebook filled with notes about everyone around them. They see everything, every habit, every inconsistency, every slip-up. And no, they're not judging just to be mean. They're doing it because they honestly believe the world could run better if only people tried a little harder. This video isn't here to sugarcoat anything. It's a window into how a Virgo silently analyzes everyone else, not to attack, but to reflect. Each zodiac sign has a personality, a story, a style, but Virgo looks beyond the sparkle and sees the missing screws. Let's dive in and see the world through their sharply critical lens. While most signs operate through emotion, instinct, or passion, Virgo functions through logic, analysis, and improvement. They're the sign that doesn't just notice you're 5 minutes late, they already guessed you would be. Based on your past 3 arrivals, they are the ones who, even in silence, are fixing the sentence you just said in their heads, editing your outfit, restructuring your plan. And no, it's not because they think they're better. It's because they genuinely believe better is possible. But that perspective can be a double-edged sword, because what happens when that razor-sharp eye is turned on you? Or worse, when you never realize they've already judged and moved on? This video will peel back the calm facade and show you what Virgo really sees when they look at the rest of the zodiac. Brace yourself, it's not personal, it's just precise. Let's talk about Aries, the fiery trailblazer of the zodiac. Now, from a Virgo's perspective, Aries can be a bit of a walking contradiction. They rush headfirst into things with all the enthusiasm in the world, but rarely pause to consider the fine print. For a Virgo, that's maddening. Virgos spend their lives double-checking, organizing, optimizing, and Aries, they are all about action now. Explanation later, if ever. To Virgo, it can feel like watching someone build a house without measuring the foundation. Sure, it might stand for a while. Take, for example, a group project. While Virgo's drafting outlines, timelines, and contingencies, Aries already hit send on a half-finished version. They're not trying to sabotage, they just think speed beats structure. But that speed, it comes at a cost. Aries might miss the crucial detail, the typo in the contract, the overlooked commitment. Still, Virgos can't deny a weird admiration. Aries has courage. They dare to act. They don't get stuck in perfection paralysis like Virgo sometimes does. So what happens when they work together? If they can respect each other's approach, Aries brings the spark. Virgo brings the follow-through. It's a combination that, if balanced, can build empires. But if misunderstood, can cause burnout on one side and frustration on the other. So if you're an Aries, take a moment. Let Virgo walk you through the plan before you leap. You might just save yourself a few broken ankles. Now onto Taurus, the rock, the steady hand, the stubborn bull. Virgo and Taurus are both earth signs, which means they share a love for stability, reliability, and practicality. But that's also where Virgo starts to grit their teeth. To a Virgo, Taurus can seem like a walking pause button, comfortable to a fault. Virgo sees Taurus settle into routines, relationships, jobs, and refuses to budge even when growth is obviously needed. Let's say Taurus has been at the same job for 10 years. The pay is okay, the coworkers are tolerable, and lunch break is sacred. But opportunities for advancement, skill development, innovation? Nah, that would require change. Virgo, being the improvement addict they are, cannot stand stillness without progress. They itch to optimize, to refine, to move forward. And Taurus, in Virgo's eyes, is the personification of comfort over evolution. But here's the kicker: Virgo also secretly admires that. Because while Virgo stresses over every decimal and deadline, Taurus reminds them that peace is power too, that not everything needs to be picked apart to be valuable. In fact, when Virgo spins into overthinking mode, Taurus is often the calm in the storm. They say, "Sit down, take a breath, it's going to be fine." If they can meet in the middle, Virgo pulling Taurus gently toward progress, and Taurus grounding Virgo in the present, they balance each other in the most practical, beautiful way. Let's look at one more real-life scenario. Imagine Virgo and Taurus living together. Virgo might schedule cleaning days, categorize groceries, label everything in the fridge. Taurus, on the other hand, wants the home to feel cozy, not clinical. They might leave their favorite mug in the sink overnight just because it's their habit. This drives Virgo up the wall. But what Taurus teaches them is that a home is meant to be lived in, not displayed like a catalog. And in return, Virgo teaches Taurus that a little structure doesn't kill comfort, it supports it. Same thing at work. Taurus might resist new software, new procedures, or a new team leader simply because they've grown attached to the old ways. Virgo steps in and says, "Let's test this. Let's adapt." The friction isn't failure. It's a path to functional harmony. Gemini, the curious, quick-witted chameleon of the Zodiac. From a Virgo's lens, Gemini is like a walking puzzle with pieces that keep shifting. One minute they're passionately discussing quantum physics. The next, they've forgotten the entire conversation and are now planning a last-minute road trip. To Virgo, who values structure, clarity, and purpose, Gemini's scatterbrain energy is exhausting. They talk fast, change opinions like socks, and commit to things with a handshake and a wink, which Virgo mentally translates to, "We'll see." Imagine trying to organize a meeting with Gemini. Virgo's got the agenda, bullet points, time slots. Gemini's response, "Let's just vibe and see what happens." That unpredictability makes Virgo twitch. It feels unreliable, chaotic, but underneath the frustration, Virgo sees something they secretly envy. Gemini can adapt. They're flexible, socially agile, able to switch gears without a meltdown. That's a skill Virgo sometimes lacks. Virgo may roll their eyes at Gemini's inconsistency, but deep down, they wish they could flow a little more freely too. And when they work together, if Virgo lays down the system and Gemini brings in the spark, it's magic. But without boundaries, Gemini can leave Virgo feeling like they're constantly playing cleanup. So, Gemini, take a breath before you double book yourself again. And maybe let Virgo proofread that wild idea of yours before it hits the group chat. Now, let's shift gears to Cancer, the nurturing soul, the emotional sponge of the Zodiac. Virgo looks at Cancer and sees someone who leads with heart first, logic second, or maybe not at all. Cancers feel deeply. They remember birthdays, know your comfort food, and will text you just to check in. Sweet, right? But to Virgo, that level of emotional investment without boundaries can feel messy. Virgos thrive in clarity, and Cancer's moods, they shift with the moon. One day they're sunshine, the next, they're in a shell, unreachable. To Virgo, this feels unstable. They don't know where they stand, and that lack of emotional consistency gets under their skin. Imagine living with a Cancer. Virgo's cleaning the kitchen while Cancer's crying in the hallway because they saw a sad commercial. It's not that Virgo doesn't care, they just prefer to process feelings in silence, with logic and time. Cancer, on the other hand, needs to talk it out, feel it out, cry it out. But here's the twist: Virgo, beneath their calm exterior, is deeply sensitive too. They just hide it better. So what Cancer offers Virgo is a mirror, a reminder that it's okay to feel, even if it doesn't make sense. And Virgo, they help Cancer draw boundaries, create structure around those waves of emotion. Together, they can heal each other as long as they learn not to take things too personally. So Cancer, next time you feel misunderstood by a Virgo, know they're listening even if it looks like they're just organizing the spice rack. Take, for example, a group project. Virgo wants roles assigned, deadlines set, and follow-ups scheduled. Gemini, they want brainstorming sessions with music, snacks, and no pressure. The key is trust if Gemini can show up with substance behind the sparkle. Virgo starts to relax. Now picture Cancer planning a weekend getaway with Virgo. Cancer wants cozy vibes, emotional bonding, and spontaneous conversations. Virgo's got maps, checklists, and a weather app. When Cancer feels overwhelmed, Virgo's grounded energy can soothe. When Virgo gets too cold or rigid, Cancer's warmth reminds them of their heart. This isn't opposition, it's potential. When both signs see each other as complementary rather than contradictory, something beautiful happens. Leo, the king or queen of the Zodiac jungle, to a Virgo. Leo walks into a room like the spotlight was made just for them. They're bold, charming, and often have a presence that demands attention. But Virgo, with their reserved and humble nature, can't help but feel that Leo is, well, a bit much. From the Virgo point of view, Leo's constant need for praise and affirmation feels exhausting. Not everything needs to be a show. Not everything needs applause. Take a team setting. Leo wants to be seen as the leader, the heart, the hero. Virgo, they just want the work done efficiently, without unnecessary drama. To Virgo, Leo's flair can seem self-centered, even performative. But here's the truth, Leo brings warmth. They light up spaces. They make people feel special. And Virgo, despite their critical mind, appreciates that. Leo reminds Virgo that recognition isn't a weakness, it's a language of love. Where Virgo keeps their achievements quiet, Leo teaches them to celebrate, to own their glow. In return, Virgo helps Leo stay grounded, reminds them that not every decision needs to come from the heart, some need to come from the head. So Leo, if a Virgo criticizes you, it's not to dull your shine, it's to help you make that shine last. Now let's talk Libra, the diplomat, the charmer, the indecisive idealist. From a Virgo's point of view, Libra is a walking paradox. They want peace but avoid confrontation. They crave harmony but dodge hard choices. Virgo, who deals in facts, plans, and clarity, often finds Libra frustratingly vague. Imagine planning an event. Virgo's got spreadsheets, lists, and deadlines. Libra's still choosing the font on the invitation because it changes the whole vibe. That kind of delay drives Virgo up the wall. Decisions need to be made. Time is of the essence, but Libra, they want everyone to be happy, every angle considered, every aesthetic aligned. To Virgo, this feels inefficient. But here's where it gets interesting. Virgo learns from Libra's grace. Libra knows how to read a room, how to soften harsh truths, how to create flow in a rigid space. While Virgo might bulldoze forward with the best plan, Libra gently reminds them to check the human side. In turn, Virgo gives Libra backbone, helps them commit, helps them say no when needed. So, Libra, if Virgo gets impatient with your indecision, know this, it's not because they don't value your style. It's because they know your power sharpens when paired with clarity. Think of it like this, Leo throws the party, Libra makes it pretty, and Virgo ensures everything starts on time. Without Leo, the party lacks soul. Without Libra, it lacks harmony. Without Virgo, it falls apart. Leo and Virgo might clash when ego meets order. But when they collaborate, Leo inspires confidence while Virgo ensures accountability. Libra and Virgo. They seem like opposites, but they complete each other. Libra helps Virgo add softness to their delivery. Virgo teaches Libra how to move past the fear of upsetting people. Together, they grow not in spite of their differences, but because of them. Scorpio, intense, mysterious, and emotionally deep. From a Virgo's perspective, Scorpio is like an encrypted file, powerful, layered, but not easy to access. Virgos pride themselves on reading people quickly, but Scorpio is unreadable by design. They keep their cards close, their emotions closer, and their motives in a locked box with no key. To Virgo, that's unsettling. They don't like guessing games, and Scorpio seems to live in them. Virgo wants to fix things, but how do you fix what you can't see? Imagine working on a project with a Scorpio. They'll give just enough information to get by, but their full plan, buried. Virgo senses the undercurrents, the unspoken tensions, the power plays, and it stresses them out. Yet, there's respect. Scorpio is deeply loyal, wildly strategic, and not afraid of the dark. Where Virgo hesitates in emotional waters, Scorpio dives head first. They teach Virgo that vulnerability isn't always messy sometimes. It's power. And Virgo, they teach Scorpio that sharing isn't weakness, it's clarity. And clarity builds trust. So if you're a Scorpio dealing with a Virgo, try opening up just a little sooner. Trust isn't instant, but transparency opens the door. Sagittarius, the freedom seeker, the philosopher, the spontaneous spirit. Virgo watches Sagittarius bounce from idea to idea, adventure to adventure, and thinks, where's the structure Virgo plans? Sagittarius wings it. Virgo analyzes. Sagittarius trusts the universe. It's not that Virgo dislikes Sag, they just don't understand how someone can operate with so little concern for consequences. Let's say you're planning a trip. Virgo's got the itinerary, travel insurance, hotel confirmations. Sagittarius, they booked a one-way ticket and figured the rest would work itself out. To Virgo, that's reckless. To Sagittarius, that's living. And here lies the tension. Sagittarius lives in potential. Virgo lives in preparation. But here's where it gets beautiful. Sagittarius teaches Virgo to take risks, to see beyond the plan, to feel the moment. And Virgo teaches Sagittarius that freedom doesn't mean chaos sometimes. Discipline sets you free. In relationships, Virgo may feel Sag is too flirtatious, too hard to pin down, and Sag may feel Virgo is too critical or too cautious. But with mutual respect, they spark a powerful balance. Sag brings the vision, Virgo brings the execution. It's not always smooth, but when they meet halfway, something remarkable happens. Picture them in a brainstorming session. Sagittarius throws out wild, brilliant ideas. Virgo filters them into steps and action plans. Sag might say, let's build a school on the moon. Virgo's like, great, here's the budget and phases. Or in friendship, Sag encourages Virgo to stop overthinking and just go out and have fun. Virgo reminds Sag that sometimes fun comes after responsibility. The key isn't to change each other, but to learn. Virgo brings grounding. Sagittarius brings expansion. Together, they challenge comfort zones. They grow through friction. So the next time a Sag says yes without thinking, Virgo, pause. Don't panic. That leap of faith might just lead to your next breakthrough. Capricorn, the CEO of the Zodiac. From a Virgo's perspective, Capricorn is the one sign they respect almost instantly. They're disciplined, reliable, and driven by results. But that same laser focus, it can also be intimidating, even a little isolating. Virgo loves order, but Capricorn turns it into an empire. They don't just plan, they execute with precision, often sacrificing personal time, relationships, or emotional needs. To Virgo, it's impressive but concerning. They recognize that Capricorn's strength sometimes becomes their burden. Capricorns will stay in a job they hate because it pays well. They'll stick to a plan even when it's costing them their joy. Virgo wants to whisper, hey, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to rest. Not every step has to be productive. But Virgo also gets it. They too have been guilty of overworking, of losing themselves in the details. Together, Virgo and Capricorn can create amazing things grounded in logic, built with grit. But they also need to remind each other that fulfillment isn't just in outcomes, it's in moments. So Capricorn, when Virgo pushes you to reflect or pause, it's not to slow you down. It's to make sure you're actually headed where your soul wants to go. Now let's dive into Aquarius, the rebel genius. From a Virgo's viewpoint, Aquarius is unpredictable, brilliant, and absolutely impossible to categorize. Where Virgo wants formulas, Aquarius wants freedom. Where Virgo asks for proof, Aquarius says, trust the vision. Virgo tries to organize thoughts into checklists. Aquarius is busy imagining a world where checklists don't even exist. It's inspiring, but also maddening. Virgo values consistency. Aquarius thrives in disruption. In a brainstorming session, Virgo brings the framework. Aquarius blows it up with innovation. Virgo wants to understand the logic. Aquarius wants to change the game. But underneath the chaos, there's magic. Aquarius sees the big picture that Virgo often misses, and Virgo helps Aquarius turn the picture into a blueprint. Together, they can revolutionize things, but only if they learn to respect the friction. Aquarius can teach Virgo not to be afraid of breaking the mold. Virgo teaches Aquarius that genius still needs structure to land. It's like trying to bottle lightning, but when it works, it changes everything. Picture Capricorn and Virgo working on a major project. Capricorn sets the high-level goals and deadlines. Virgo handles the systems, the details, the quality control. The result, flawless execution, but only if they check in emotionally along the way. Now imagine Virgo and Aquarius building something new. Aquarius says, let's build an app that talks to dreams. Virgo replies, okay, but we'll need UX design, legal compliance, and beta testers. That's how innovation becomes reality. One dreams it, the other designs it. The magic isn't in sameness, it's in synthesis. Virgo brings the ground. Capricorn builds the path. Aquarius brings the sky. Pisces the dreamer, the empath, the soul that swims in deeper waters. To Virgo, Pisces can feel like another world entirely. While Virgo is busy scanning for errors and correcting details, Pisces is feeling the room, sensing the energy, and chasing a vision most people can't even see. That sensitivity is beautiful, but for Virgo, it can also be overwhelming. Pisces changes course based on emotion. Virgo changes course based on facts. That difference, it leads to friction. Imagine trying to make weekend plans. Virgo checks the weather, looks up reviews, compares prices. Pisces says, I just want to go where the vibes feel right. To Virgo, that's vague and impractical. But to Pisces, it's authentic and intuitive. And maybe that's what Virgo needs sometimes, to loosen their grip on logic and feel something without dissecting it. On the flip side, Pisces needs Virgo's grounding. When Pisces gets lost in imagination or paralyzed by emotion, Virgo brings them back to the surface. Not with judgment, but with clarity. Structure doesn't kill magic, it helps contain it. Together, Virgo and Pisces can form a powerful balance. One sees what is, the other sees what could be, but only if they learn to listen, not to respond, but to understand. And that takes patience and real respect. Now, after going through all 11 signs, let's flip the mirror. How does Virgo see themselves? The truth is, Virgo can be their own harshest critic. While they analyze the world, they often analyze themselves even more ruthlessly. They see every flaw, every missed opportunity, every time they didn't live up to their impossible standards. It's a blessing and a curse. Virgo holds themselves to such a high level, it pushes them to excellence, but it also drains them. They rarely pause to celebrate. They rarely feel good enough. People see Virgo as judgmental, but they don't realize much of that judgment is inward first. If Virgo says you could do better, it's because they tell themselves that every single day. And yes, Virgo wants to help, but sometimes they don't know how to offer support without pointing out what's wrong. It's not cruelty, it's a reflex. Fixing things feels like love to them, but they're learning. learning that some things don't need fixing, they just need presence. Learning that softness isn't weakness, that silence isn't failure, that rest isn't laziness. So if you're a Virgo, breathe. Let yourself be human. Let others be human too. You don't have to earn your worth through perfection. You were already enough even before the checklist. Think of a moment when Virgo tried to comfort someone but ended up sounding critical. Maybe a friend vented about a breakup, and Virgo responded with 5 reasons why the relationship was flawed. Their intention, help, their delivery, rough. Or maybe Virgo watched someone spiral with anxiety and offered a detailed action plan when all the person wanted was a hug. That's the paradox. Virgo loves deeply, but shows it through structure, through effort, through problem solving. But emotions aren't always problems to solve. Sometimes they're just waves to ride. And Virgo is slowly learning to swim, not just fix the current. And now, the moment of truth when Virgo turns that sharp gaze inward. After analyzing everyone else, Virgo finally asks, "What about me? What am I not seeing in myself?" Here's the truth. Virgo can spot a flaw from a mile away, but they're often blind to their own brilliance. They hold themselves to impossible standards. They fix, they serve, they improve, but rarely pause to just be. While others see Virgo as the one who has it together, inside, they're often overwhelmed by everything they haven't done yet. They don't celebrate the wins. They downplay the compliments. They move on to the next task before breathing in the joy of completion. That's the climax of the Virgo journey, realizing that perfection is not the goal. Presence is. The turning point is when Virgo chooses to show themselves the same compassion they offer in silence to others. When they learn that being human doesn't mean being weak, it means being real. So what did we learn today? That Virgo isn't trying to judge, they're trying to understand. They see the world not as it is, but as it could be. And yes, that can come off as critical. Yes, it can sting. But underneath every correction, every observation, every raised eyebrow, there's care. Virgo doesn't want you to be perfect. They just want you to see your own potential. Because they see it, clear as day. And sometimes, they wish someone would do the same for them. This isn't about who's right or wrong, better or worse. It's about learning to see each other through more honest eyes. And if we can do that, if we can meet in the middle, maybe, just maybe, we'll all grow a little stronger, a little kinder, and a whole lot wiser. So now it's your turn. Which part of this Virgo truth hit you the hardest? Did your sign get called out? Did it feel spot on or way off? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hey, if you want us to dive deeper into any specific sign, let us know in the comments. Whether it's Scorpio's mystery, Gemini's chaos, or Cancer's heart, tell us who you want to explore next. Let's talk about it. And if you're a Virgo, tell us how you see the signs. No filters, no holding back. If this message made you think, made you feel, or just made you laugh, hit like, share with a fellow Zodiac fan, and subscribe. We've got more cosmic truth coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's next. Here's a quick example. A Virgo might see you procrastinating and instantly suggest a routine to fix it. It's not because they think you're lazy, it's because they've been there, too. They know how hard it is to stay focused, to stay motivated. And when they offer solutions, they're offering parts of themselves. What worked for them, what helped them survive the noise. That's the love language of Virgo support through structure, kindness through correction. If we can learn to hear their words through that lens, maybe we won't just tolerate Virgos. We'll thank them.